Welcome to the Craft of Coaching podcast, where we dive into what it truly takes to become a skilled, confident life coach. I'm your host, Kate, head of the CLCC or Credentialed Life Coach Collective, an ICF accredited Level 1 coach training program. We combine courage, coaching, and community to offer you more than just a training program, but a life-changing experience where you use your own personal transformation as the learning ground for supporting your clients. On this podcast, we explore how you can use coaching skills to support your clients or expand your own growth, all grounded in evidence-based coaching practices. Learn more about our program and get free resources for becoming a life coach at teamclcc.com. And now, here's today's episode. All right, we gotta talk about the comparison spiral. And we could talk about it from the context of supporting clients who are going into comparisons and comparing themselves to other people and thinking that they aren't far enough along. But what I actually want to talk about today is the comparison spiral that you might be going into with other coaches. Yeah. And if you haven't done that yet, then I'm guessing you haven't spent a lot of time online or marketing. Because what ends up happening is, and I really think every coach has wrestled with this, whether they admit it or not, the comparison spiral. You're scrolling Instagram, you see another coach claiming that they sold out a program or they're celebrating a 6-figure launch or something like that. And suddenly your brain kicks into this overdrive. Like, why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Am I even cut out for this? And this is especially going to be loud if you are in that painful place with coaching, I think, with running a coaching business really, where you have had enough experience coaching that you know you deliver value and your clients really enjoy working with you, but you don't yet have enough clients or you aren't yet at the point where you can charge enough to really make money from doing this. So if you have never had anyone normalize this for you, hi, I'm Kate. I'm the director of a coach training program that's been around since 2014, and I have been a coach since 2006. As of recording this, 20 years of coaching. So I want to tell you so clearly right now, I want to normalize for you so clearly right now that there is a flood of crap online that tries to make it seem like running your coaching business should be so easy. Sit with that for a second. Like, really sit with the fact that you have been, that if you feel like you're seeing other coaches out there claiming they sold out a program or celebrating a 6-figure launch, and then your brain goes, why am I not there yet? Am I cut out for this? I should be there by now. There's a very good chance, very good possibility that marketing has simply conditioned you into thinking that it should be faster and easier than it actually is. Now we're going to break out some of these pieces today, so let's get into it a little bit. I also want to add, comparison is not a personality flaw. You don't suck because you're comparing. And yeah, you probably have supported your clients who go into comparison spirals, and you're going, why can't I take my own advice? Because you're triggered, because you're overwhelmed, because it matters deeply to you, because it's a learned behavior to compare yourself, because who knows, okay? Because you're human. How about that? You're a coach and you're human. Comparison also thrives in a culture of performative success, and that's absolutely in the coaching industry. So if you're feeling it, you're not weak, you're not lame, you're human. So let's go ahead and unpack this first by getting really clear on how the comparison operates. You know this as a coach who has supported clients, that when people don't understand how a pattern operates, they're more likely to repeat it. So let's name this. When you go down a path of comparison, it disconnects you from your intuition. It makes you second guess your client's progress. It also probably has you tweaking your offers over and over and over, thinking, oh, if I just had a better headshot, or oh, I should have a better tagline, or da-da-da. And really, if you get into what it does somatically, it floods you with a lot of overwhelm. It actually doesn't do the thing that one would hope, right? Like if you see a distance between where you are and what someone else is doing that represents where you want to be, if going into a space of self-criticism, shaming, blaming, why am I not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Am I even able to do a business? Comparison, if that was the thing that would help you to actually get over there, I would say do it, but it doesn't help. It's self-doubt, it's fear, it's anxiety, it's overwhelm. Okay? It doesn't help. So let's really be clear that the comparison that disconnects you from your intuition, takes over your nervous system, has you second guessing yourself, makes you run to tweak your offers or work harder, those responses to this situation are not going to work. Okay? All right. And I want to give you a real example, actually. It's a real example. I have like 10 of these real examples, honestly. So I remember years ago, ages ago, I watched someone who had gone through coach training after me suddenly blow up online. Like her brand looked on point, thousands of followers, looked like she was, getting all these offers, all the things. Okay. Guess what ended up happening? It was all a lie. Yeah. Like I went into, in response to seeing that, all the things I'm talking about, second guessing myself and thinking that my offers weren't good enough. And maybe I got to tweak my website, or I should sign up for this high priced marketing mastermind that's like $10,000. Like I started to go down all of that. I ended up thankfully not spending the $10,000, $20,000 for these ridiculously priced marketing masterminds that are out there. I ended up not doing that. That's the good news. But the bad news is that when I later found out, and I'm talking I found out, like this is not gossip, this is like the real. I found out it was all a lie. She was claiming to fill programs because if you claim to fill a program, then, people go, oh, you're really successful. Maybe I should listen to you. She was basically lying about all these things. It was a come to Jesus moment for me because I realized that I had let someone else's highlight reel define my value, send me into overwhelm. How have you done that in your life? Like, how do you even know that the people that you're comparing yourself to are doing so great? You don't. We can't. And then there are those times too where maybe someone really is real and it's not fake and they are having the successes and they are publishing the books or they're getting the speaking gigs or the things that you want. Got it. Okay. You're like, no, Kate, it's really real. Okay. I got it. It's really real. They really are doing those things. You're feeling stuck in the comparisons. The energy you put into reacting to that comparison takes away energy that you could otherwise put into refining your craft of coaching, staying connected to your intuition, regulating your own nervous system. Because here's the thing, when you're caught in comparison, your coaching suffers. You turn off listening. You turn off listening to yourself and your intuition and what you really want and what you're trying to build. And the self-doubt just gets louder in the background. So let's talk about now shifting into how to stop that in its tracks, okay? First thing, call it what it is. This is where somatic awareness and mindfulness and presence-based practices are so important. You gotta recognize that if this thing is coming over you, these feelings somatically are coming over you that don't feel good in your body, pause. Pause. Do not react. Do not make your next move based on those feelings. Pause. When you feel the spiral coming on, you pause. Say it out loud if you need to. Okay, all right, I'm going into a comparison spiral right now. Because these spirals can often function kind of like a trance. We're just in them, we're unconscious, we're not really aware even that we're reacting and reacting and reacting. So it's pause. I'm in comparison right now. Let me pay attention to what's happening to my body. Let me go into presence. Next, you got to interrupt the story. Stories are narratives. They're frameworks for how we look at the world, and your stories either serve you or they don't. And we're always interpreting the world, so we've always got stories going. And comparison tells the story of they are better in some way, or I'm not enough in some way, or I'm behind in some way. And so really, if you start to unpack these stories, you realize there's not a lot of nuance and not a lot of data. They're better. How do you know? How do you know? I mean, they're talking about filling a 6-figure launch, great. Or filling a program, making a 6-figure launch, great. How do you know that they're doing better though? What if everyone who comes through their program is like, that sucked? You don't know. Or they're ahead of me. You don't know. Or I'm behind. You don't know. But compared to who? What's the metric here? Also, their journey doesn't need to be your journey. And I don't know if you've noticed this. I certainly have. Every single person who has always gone through a really hard time and then they tell their story of success, they tell their TED Talk or they tell their story on the podcast or, whatever it is, over and over and over, if you pay attention, they will tell you from the place of that success that they understand that they had to go through all the stuff to get to where they are now. They had to go through all that stuff to get to where they are now. That doesn't mean I would ever wish suffering or hardship on anyone. And I'm human too. And when I'm going through a hard time, I wish it was easier. But with time, you learn to recognize that the things that are hard can also be incredible gifts. Next thing, you gotta reconnect to your own metrics. And this is, to me, the real powerhouse move, okay? What's your internal compass? Like, this is the keep your eyes on your own paper moment. What's your own internal metric of success? What does success actually mean to you? And how can you put your eyes on your own paper and create and craft that vision of success without looking at what so-and-so over there is doing? What kind of coaching relationships do you want? What kind of life do you want around your business? That person who has all that success, they might be like killing it from a place of these metrics of how many people signed up or whatever, but maybe they're working 80-hour weeks. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to work an 80-hour week. No thanks. I did not get out of doing work that didn't light me up and hustling and overachieving within a system that was not built for me, and like my life being drained away with hours and hours of work, and make the shift into coaching so that I can just recreate that for an artificial metric. And again, I'm here to tell you, it feels great to fill a program. I'm also here to tell you, I don't have to work 80-hour weeks to do it. And I don't think you do either. And I don't think you want that for yourself. So if the success that is going to come, you don't know what they're doing when you're comparing the success that is to come to you to the success that they are talking about. And like I said, it's always possible it's a lie. I know that might be mind-blowing to you. Like, really? Because you might have attended some live streams of these coaches and they seem so legit and so authentic and da-da-da-da. No, sometimes they're lying. Like, legit lying. Things are just not always what they seem. And you getting super stressed out and thinking you're not doing enough or something's wrong with you over someone who could be lying, come on. That's not what you want to use your one precious life for. Now, what activates comparison is often the stuff that pretty much every human in the world needs to work on. The stories, the narratives, the past conditioning that is, if I were good enough, I'd be further ahead. If I were really good, I wouldn't feel this way. I wouldn't let it get to me. So we got to name that too. We got to go, okay, I see you. This is inner critic 101. Inner critic is popping up, and the inner critic is not your enemy. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to protect you from feelings of rejection, defeat, disappointment. But you also got to just be real about the fact that, hey, you are on the path that you are on. Stuff is going to come up for you as you're on that path. You're going to wish you were further ahead. And how can you breathe, come back to the breath, keep your eyes on your own paper to move forward? It's like, let's just normalize the fact that this will come up for you, but you also want to not just nudge it away and pretend you're not doing it. You want to go, okay, let me work on it. So slow burn businesses, these are the people who, they don't have the flashy businesses, the loud businesses, but they're full of integrity and depth. You may never be the algorithm's darling, but that doesn't mean you're not a powerful transformational coach. I have worked with coaches who are not even on social media, and they're the best coaches I've ever worked with. I'm thinking of one coach in particular. She went like years and years and years without updating her website. Great. She's a fantastic coach, phenomenal coach. These are the coaches that many times people are sleeping on, but like in terms of social media clout, but like in the actual network of coaching, they're the, like, if you need a referral, I'm sending you to this person. That's what's happening here. And if you're working with a coach or you are the coach, you also want to be aware of, how is this comparison showing up in your business decisions? Again, the reactivity is why you want to do the work, because think of how maybe somebody gets so caught up in these comparisons that their entire launch plan gets scrapped for a new product because it didn't look a certain way. Compared to who? Compared to this other person you're comparing yourself to. That's comparison creating reactivity in you. Okay? So here's your invitation. All right? Unsubscribe from the idea that coaching success is linear or fast or always visible. Like, I'm here to tell you now, as I record this episode in 2026, I have spent all of 2025, and now it's moving into 2026, building out critical business infrastructure. It's not sexy. It's not exciting. It's nothing I would talk about a lot online because it's kind of just boring work in the sense of how you talk about it. It's going into different programs that I offer and doing legacy updates and determining, like, going back to the basics of, like, what's the customer acquisition or funnel for this particular program or product, and like, this is the way we've always done it. What do we need to change up? Okay, we're going to change these things. Let's go ahead and rebuild it and do it this different way. That's all. It's not all that sexy, but it's amazing behind the scenes. So it's not always going to be linear, fast, or visible. The quiet trust you're building, the impact no one sees, the slow foundation of a business that you're building intentionally because you don't want to burn out. That's real. That's enough. And in fact, let's go ahead and reframe here. Comparison, not your enemy. Let's say that it's more like a spotlight, a flashlight. It's shining light to show you where you really care about something, and you might be outsourcing your worth or comparing your insides to someone else's outsides, or getting really triggered based on someone's highlight reel that, again, might be a castle built in the sand. And comparison, when it gets activated, the invitation is there for you to come back to self-trust. So I would like to invite you to start getting into that coaching presence that is such a core competency of strong coaching. How do you interrupt the spiral? How do you reconnect with your own compass? Sometimes it's as simple as, like I said earlier, you just go pause. We gotta pause this. And most of all, be kind to yourself. You're probably doing better than you think, and no one ever gets anywhere by beating themselves up. So be kind to yourself. And trust that you too are one day going to be the person who tells the story in the interview and tells everybody how it all had to happen the way it had to happen for you to learn what you needed to learn to get here right now. All right, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. Before you go, would you help us out and take a moment to give us a rating in iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening? It really helps us get the word out to other listeners. And before you go today, would you like free resources to support your coaching journey? Whether you're considering becoming a coach or you want advanced coach skills training, access our coaching resource library at teamclcc.com. Again, that's teamclcc.com. Can't wait to connect with you, and again, thanks for listening.